Marlon Moraes and Yadong Song in the bantamweight division. Yadong Song getting wins over Marlon Chito Vera, a draw with Cody Stamann, a win over Casey Kenny, and a win over Julio Arce, only losing to Kyler Phillips, and that was a crazy win for Kyler Phillips. He is very young in his MMA career at 24 years old, gonna be 2 inches taller and have a half-inch reach advantage. Marlon Vera getting finished in his last 3 fights, all by knockout, and getting knocked out by Henry Cejudo as well right there. So he's been finished a lot recently. I mean, the only fights he's not getting finished in is Rafael dos Santos by split decision, and I'm not too sure what happened in those fights. But in his last 5 fights, he's been knocked out 4 times, which is absolutely insane. Now, I tend to see a lot of strikers that go out there in the UFC. They get knocked out 3 or 4 times, maybe even 5 times. If they're getting knocked out that many times over and over and over again, I already know they're going to be less tentative to even put themselves in the situations to get knocked out. Because I believe in this fight, once it does happen, we're not going to see Marlon Vera pressing forward, looking to land his big shots, because he's going to get worried that he might get cracked and he might get knocked out yet again. So I think we're going to see a much more patient Marlon Moraes here, just trying to land the shots at range, maybe mix in a takedown or 2 as well. I expect Marlon Moraes looking for a decision in this fight, and for those reasons, I definitely see the fight going all the way. I think a lot of you guys out there probably think I'm crazy saying the fight with Marlon Moraes and Yadong Song goes to a decision, but I believe Marlon Moraes does have the wrestling and grappling advantage over Yadong Song, where he didn't really have that in his last few fights. I mean, he had a little bit of an advantage over Ron Font, a little bit of an advantage over Corey Sandhagen, but those guys are just such good strikers. They were just able to knock him out. For this fight with Yadong Song, I believe even if Yadong Song is able to land a big shot and get close to knocking out Marlon Moraes, Marlon is going to try to wrestle and grapple, and he's just going to hold on in the clinch as well. So I think Yadong Song has the better striking, he's got the better cardio, he's got more power than Marlon Moraes, but the grappling does go Marlon Moraes. So Marlon could go out there, get a few takedowns, grind it out on there, get a little bit of ground and pound, go for a few submission attempts, and that would be the main path to victory for Marlon Moraes. But you already know Marlon Moraes, that has been the main path to victory against Ron Font, against Corey Sandhagen, against Jose Aldo, against Henry Cejudo. That has been the path to victory, to just take him down, out wrestle and out grapple them, and he hasn't really been too successful with that in his last few fights. So I expect this fight to be a striking one, and I don't expect a knockout. I expect the fight to go all the way. Yadong Song 30-27 unanimous decision, possibly a 29-28, as Marlon Moraes is pretty solid in that very first round, as we saw in the Merab Wallace-Vili fight. But I got Yadong Song by a unanimous decision.